Dan Secure, and it is Wednesday, April 15th, tax deadline day. Wow, wow. Having done taxes in the past, this used to be probably our busiest day of the year, but I'm not here to talk about that tonight. Tonight I'm here to talk about a little something a little more personal on my heart as right now I'm looking forward to this weekend as I'm a part of a team that is going down to Mexico with my church on a missions trip. Um, and this is my third trip in 4 years. I took my very first trip actually back in 2012 uh, in the latter part of when I was unemployed and underemployed, going through a very rough point and spot in my life. But it was in that time where I stepped out in true real faith, believing that God would afford me, and He put on my heart that I really needed to go on this that missions trip. And I went, and we helped an orphanage just inside the border by Tijuana, that our church has been supporting and helped before in the past. I went there, had a awesome experience. In fact, you always go with the thought and the idea that you're going to do more and get more, give more than what you get out of it. And in the long run, I got more out of it because of what I saw, what I learned, what I felt, what it meant to go on that missions trip. That was the first time I'd ever really mixed cement or done anything with cement. Uh, when I came to live with my aunt and uncle when I was 12 years old, uh, who my aunt I call my mom if you know about me or followed me. Um, they were adding on and doing additions and stuff and things like that. So kind of helped seeing some cement be poured and stuff. Kind of helped with that, but didn't really get into the part of making it. And we had a mixer and stuff, and the mixing machine and stuff. And my uncle and my other uncle came and worked and did stuff, and so saw that to a degree. But I was 12 and 13 and um, a kid running around and didn't have much interest in that. So, but getting back to this trip, I got to make cement, but we made it the hard old fashioned way. Yes, we did have one mixer. Um, it helped, but we were trying to do big quantities and do stuff because we were laying a foundation for an actual house that was being built that was going to house new boys this next year. Um, while we were down there. So while we were there, we actually made cement in the ground with rocks, with gravel, with water, with some, cement powder and stuff. Actually, with the shovel and doing it and mixing it, um, and we actually did that. And that was probably some of the hardest backbreaking work I've ever physically done in my life. And when we were done with that, doing that in the morning time and stuff, usually we did that. And in the afternoon, we did other, had lunch and ate with the kids and stuff. And in the afternoon, we spent time with kids and stuff and doing things and interacting. Um, but out of that, I'd always come back to our bungalow where we got to sleep and stuff. And I'd heard stories before about, that there wasn't water or showers. Well, actually, at the orphanage, they actually had built even showers there and stuff. So I got to be lucky. I didn't even get that full experience of hearing living out the stories of having to do buckets, water, showers, and stuff like that. Uh, but anyway, so with that, but every time, like I said, going back to our little cabin, bungalow, whatever you want to call it, I would be just dead tired from the day. Um, I didn't have a laptop at that time, so I was just listening to my headset or whatever, or radio, my little MP3 player, which would get the radio and stuff, things like that. Um, and just reading, spending time by the fireplace after we ate dinner and stuff. Um, but it was the best work I've ever done. I got the most filling fulfillment out of doing that. even though it was the hardest work. And that's what was weird. I got so much more out of it than like even now when I do my job. I go to work, I get paid, I come home and stuff. There was no payment in it. There was nothing expected except that we were doing something for um, kids that were going to be there. They have boys and girls there, but we were doing this house for the boys because they put all boys together and all girls together and stuff like that as they're growing up. And that's, you know, what kind of, in that sense, I've had a heart for going for quite a few years since my brother and his wife went on their first one. Uh, Back on, I think in the late 90s or early 2000s, they went. And then they went, and then my sister-in-law went with their two oldest kids to, I think it was Brazil or Guatemala, South American country. I've not ventured to that far yet. That is one of my goals, is to, and that's part of my dream with building my business. That's where this comes in. Um, I do have a heart for missions now. Having said going on my third one, um, and where I'm going, I'm hoping to see the place where we went last year. To reconnect with a lot of the boys I helped last year in our vacation Bible school stuff, um, because I really connected, especially with three or four of them, and it just got into me. And one of my things I'd like to do is be able to have the time and money and availability, which I will, in building this business, to be able to go and spend maybe a month in missions and stuff like that, and doing stuff like that. I don't want to do the whole full like 2 year, 5 year service or something like that. I don't have that heart for doing it to that extent, but I do have a heart of going and doing and can whenever I can and have the opportunity. And I know that through building my business, I can do that because my ultimate goal for me personally is to get me to go to Australia, but to come back and be able to do that when go to wherever I want to go, uh, serve and do that. So with that, so this is just a little of a personal uh, reason as to another reason why is to why I'm building my business, why I'm doing this. Um, it is one of my passions now. It is what helps fuel me, keeps me going. Know that uh, I would be able to go whenever I wanted to, however I wanted to. I could be able to work out and be able to take and cover and help other people be able to go and stuff. Um, in this, I'm having to raise my own funds, get my own money together, do this. It's, cost $500 to go on this missions trip, even though it's just into, Mexico, into the Baja Peninsula in that area, and that's where we're going. Um, and I have to ask time. I had to request time off, and I request that back off, in February. So with that, this just kind of lets you into my world a little bit more and into my reasons and my why and my, and how doing this plays out. But I want to get into a key factor here because I believe that something can be learned from this. I went on my first one not having a job, not having money to fully pay my bills, not having the ability to know whether I came back on that trip or not, if I was going to have money to, you know, pay my bills or eat or do whatever, you know. But I stepped out in that faith, in that true faith with doing it, just like I stepped out in building my business. I stepped out in pure faith and truth and believing that this is something that I can do, that I am going to do, and that there's a purpose and a reason behind it. Um, and I just did it. I just did it. Also, I started this business in the tail end of that. Also, before I even went on my missions trip, I was putting money into this and putting time and energy into it. So, in that, I'm speaking from experience when I say and know and understand all your questions, all your fears, all your, uh, things that are holding you back. So, with that, um, as I always say, make it a simply simple day. Sorry this went on a little bit long, but this is my passion, my thing that drives me, that gets me excited. I am so looking forward to this trip. I am a co-leader with this, and I'm helping with our fundraising. So we're gonna be doing that this weekend, selling hamburgers and stuff at our church. So thanks, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.